what the SOG team under Peter Cook had managed to do is not only to stabilise the building and the people in it, but actually to create more jobs here at the newly named Heath Business Park, as it became, more jobs here than were actually there when ICI were in full swing with their polymers division. You know, that's staggering. It is absolutely extraordinary that a bunch of guys who basically under Peter's direction had been the facilities managers of the old ICI went in with their eyes wide open to buy the property from ICI, who said that no favours will be done or asked for. They weren't asked for by Peter and his team, they weren't granted. They paid market price for the building and for the land. And they set about actually doing something which at the time was unique and is still, frankly, pretty remarkable and barely replicated anywhere else in this country, which is to, as I say, have recognised that here was a nucleus of science and knowledge and enthusiasm and enterprise which simply needed to be harnessed. And of course what's unique about the Heath, and no doubt why Progressive Solutions came here in the first place, and I'll say a bit more about Len and Arthur's operation in a moment, but what drew them here is not just, of course, the availability of space, but all of the services which are ancillary to that space, which the Heath has developed and which are such an attractive offering. And I don't think I give anything away when I say that I know, because talking earlier to Arthur and Len, they made it clear to me that when they were looking at the range of options, which they obviously had when 3 or 4 offices needed to be consolidated and growth had to be planned for, they could have gone elsewhere, and one of the factors that kept them here is quite simply the unique atmosphere that businesses can enjoy when they're anchored into what the Heath actually offers. So, you know, for me that's something worthy, really worthy of congratulation and support. It would be a pretty massive achievement on any scale, but it is also worth remarking that it's been done without a penny of government money. And that really is quite remarkable. To have developed this entirely through private financing, to have developed a truly commercial model which doesn't rely on subsidy, doesn't rely on Objective 1 status grant or anything else of that sort, is an even more remarkable achievement. And I do think it's worth saying that in terms of the way we see the UK economy developing and the recognition that at some point we are going to have to make even larger economies in the public sector than we have done, we ought to ask ourselves whether the kind of money that is being pumped in to buildings by regional development agencies, which I don't see as having, quite frankly, any longevity in their business plans, and which, of course, according to those who aspire to be the next government, are not going to survive, are currently building, when in fact the model that the Heath suggests is that that is not where we should be spending our taxes. Actually, there is a model which can deliver this kind of environment enormously successfully without the resort to public finance. And where that's available, that's what we should be looking to do. So rather than spend millions, whether it's at Daresbury or whether it's elsewhere in the northwest, on effectively publicly subsidised competition, frankly my view is that we should be looking at developing this model, which is a model which not only attracts business and allows business to survive, but does so without any burden whatever on the taxpayer.